Yo, what's going on everybody? It's your boy Travis Dykes. Today we are going over the fastest way to increase your speed on bass. There's gonna be a few different things I'm covering. I'm covering about your finger speed, I'm covering accuracy, I'm covering dexterity, and I'm also gonna give you some exercises that you can actually put in your playing to make some really cool, dope licks. If you haven't already, go ahead and check out my Patreon page where you get all my loops, tabs, tracks, and also I'm doing this new thing with a new tier that I created where you can send me a video of you playing either a lick, a groove, or honestly even a song if you need help with, and I will send you back one feedback video per month. This is really cool thing I've been wanting to do to kind of help you guys on a personal one-on-one level. So if you have some time, check it out. The link is in the description below. There's limited slots and limited availability, so make sure you check those out really soon. So without further ado, why don't you grab your bass and we'll jump into the lesson. So if you're watching this video, you probably want to get some speed like this guy. Or even some speed like this guy. So a couple of things that I learned when it comes to developing speed on the bass is to isolate your hands. If you're in the gym, you isolate on one arm, you're like, you get on one arm and then you go on the other arm and other arm. And the reason why we do that in the gym is because we can gain our strength a lot stronger if we focus in on one at a time. But you never want to have one that's stronger than the other. So that's the reason why we have to work both of them at the equal amount, okay? And so what we're gonna do, one of the things that we're gonna do is we're gonna isolate our left hand and we're gonna isolate our right hand. And then we're gonna do some exercise where they're pushing them together. One thing you need to note is that we have two different types of exercises that you will likely hear from just about anybody. You have exercises that are workout exercises, and then you have ones that are melodic exercises. Workout exercises are ones, just like if you go to the gym, in real life, you're not necessarily lifting things like, like all the time. That's just a workout exercise to build your strength. So when something like that comes up, it'll be easy. Now, melodic exercises are the more practical exercises, the ones that you can use like in grooves, the ones you can use in songs and different things like that kind of sound like a lick. I'm gonna go over a couple of those, and I'm also gonna go over these workout exercises because they work together when it comes to developing speed. So the first hand that we're gonna work on is we're gonna isolate our left hand. And the first exercise we're gonna work on is the exercise that I use just about every day, almost every time that I play the bass, is this exercise right here. It's like a chromatic exercise for my left hand, like this. And so this is like one that I use all the time. And also, if you don't have a 5-string bass, just remember that. So if you don't have a 5-string bass, don't worry. You can do the same exact exercises on a 4-string bass as well as you can on a 5-string bass. So all the tabs for this will be on my Patreon page, which is linked in the description below. So we're gonna start off with our first fret, with our first finger, index finger, and then we're gonna go 4th fret with our pinky finger, middle finger on the 2nd fret, and then ring finger on the 3rd fret. So we get this. And remember, if you don't have a 5-string, you can start with me when we get to the E string, okay? So right here, now we're gonna go to the next string, which is the E string. So now my 4-string players, y'all can jump in. So we got same pattern. And then we're just gonna go down again to the A string. Same thing on the D string. And then same thing on the G string. All right, so now what we're gonna do is we're gonna slide it up 1 fret like this when we get down here. Now we're gonna slide it up 1 fret, go here. And then go back down. Same thing back down. Same thing back down. Same thing back down. Then we're gonna slide up again. And just do it again. Repeat that same pattern. Then go up again. And we start to get this rhythm And I would suggest you doing this with a metronome. I would start probably somewhere on the low end if you're not very fast at all. I would probably start somewhere in the 65 to 70 BPM range, and then you could just take it as fast as you want to. So that is the exercise. And what you want to do is you want to go all the way up to that 12th fret, the double dots, where your index finger is on the double dots like this. And then you go all the way back down. But when you go back down, we're going to change up the pattern because we don't want our mind to get too used to the pattern to where it doesn't strengthen us. So we change it up a little bit to kind of confuse our muscles. So what we're going to do is we're going to start this time, instead of starting with the index finger, we're going to start with our pinky finger. And we're going to go pinky, index, ring, middle. Pretty much kind of like the inverse or reverse of it. Then we're going to move down just like we did the other one. Same thing here. Same thing here. And then take it down 1 fret. Same pattern. You're going to notice your left hand is going to start to feel a little warm. You're going to be like, whoa, 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 what's going on right now? So what I would suggest you to do this, if you want to have like a daily routine, I'm going to do this for all the exercises. I would do this at least twice a day. So all the way up and all the way down is 1 time, and then all the way up and all the way down, that'll make 2 times. All right, now the next left hand exercise that we're going to use, it's really, really focused on the left hand, and it really, really burns. I'm just gonna be quite honest with you. It just works really quick. It's one of these workout exercises that I told you that is not necessarily melodic, but what it is, it strengthens your muscles in your hands, okay? This is gonna be what I like to call the hammer-on pull-off exercise, okay? This strengthens your hammer-ons and your pull-offs whenever you're playing. So I'm gonna play 1 time on my index finger, okay? Like that, and then I'm going to hammer on and pull off with my pinky, hammer on, pull off with my ring finger, then hammer on, pull off with my middle finger, and then go back up. So it should sound like this. You only pluck 1 time, that's the thing, but you want to keep that note clear. Okay, so watch this. All right, let's move to the E string so our 4-string players can jump in with us. So we got you see how I'm doing that? I'll just play it 1 time. All right, then move to the next one. And then move to the next one. Next one. And then we're gonna go up just like we did on the last one. Go up 1 fret and go. Same thing. Go down. All right, next one. Next one. Next one. You see, I'm keeping my hand in the velocity of pretty much the same tone each time, the same volume. That's what you want to try to do. So if you do that, what I want you to do, because I'm already starting to feel it in my hand a little bit right now. What you do is I want you to go from all the way, just like we did on the other, all the way to the 12th fret and all the way back down. Now this one, I wouldn't suggest doing it twice in a day. I mean, if you want to do it twice a day, you could do that. But I would suggest just at least doing this once a day, all the way. So when I say once, all the way up to the 12th fret where your index is up here, and then all the way back down. Okay, trust me. It's gonna burn. it's gonna work, and it's really gonna strengthen your hand, because what this does is it helps you with your hammer-on. So like if you're playing some, and you're using a lot of hammer-ons, this is gonna help strengthen and get those hammer-ons super, super clean on your left hand. So just take your time with this. Play this with a metronome. You want to be able to play it very, very clean, so it strengthens your accuracy just as well as your hand speed. All right, so this is gonna be my first harmonic exercise for the left hand. And this is one that I've used ever since I first started playing. I learned this from a bass player named Bubby Lewis. He is insane, probably one of the fastest bass players. This is what he sounds like right here. is like so fast. And he had this one technique that he practiced all the time. And I was like, man, this is so cool. For my gospel people, you probably know exactly what I'm talking about when I say a shout run or a shout line. This sounds like this. For all those that don't know what a shout line or shout run is, basically it's like when you're playing in church and people get really excited about either something that the pastor said or just during worship, they just get really excited, and then you play some music to kind of like fill that moment and where they could just shout and just do whatever they want to, just however they feel, you know? So all it is you're playing is this right here. So all I'm doing is a simple walking chromatic walk, starting with, so for my numbers people, it'll be 1, 3, 4, 4 sharp, 5, 6, 6 sharp or flat 7, 7, and 1. And you just repeat from the 3 to the 5 and the 6 to the 1 like that. You only play the 1 on the very beginning, so. And then you just repeat after that. And so for my letters people, it's just A flat, C, D flat, D, E flat, F, G flat, G, and back to A flat. And you just start at the C to E flat and G, or F to A flat, chromatic. And I'm doing alternate plucking on my right hand. This is the exercise that I used to use all the time. Basically, you put on a shout loop and you just go, okay? I could sit down and just watch, like I could watch a video or watch whatever and practice this line. So like you don't have to have your bass plugged up. You can just be like. So I would suggest this. So I would do sets of these in a day. I would do like a set of like playing it for 5 minutes and then playing it for 8 minutes and then playing it for 10 minutes. So you have 3 sets because it's gonna build your endurance. It builds your endurance like none other. Like if you ever play in church, just like a gospel church that has shout, like this is gonna give you that stamina and strength, endurance to be able to withstand however long of a shout, you know what I'm saying? But it also builds your speed at the same time. This is one of those exercises that kind of works together with your right and left hand, build that speed, okay? The reason why I say it's the left hand, because you start to feel it a little bit more on your left hand than you do on your right hand at times. But it works both hands pretty equally. So if you are a Patreon member, or if you don't know about my Patreon, I would suggest you check it out. For this speed workout, I have a 5-minute version, an 8-minute version, and a 10-minute version. So basically, you just play with it until the track ends, and that'll be your whole set. If you are interested in that, feel free to check out my Patreon. The link is in the description. All right, so now let's start diving into that right hand. So the first exercise I want to show you is one that I use as a warm-up pretty much all the time. It's one of these workout exercises that like really warms you up really well. So what you do is you basically slide all the way up to probably about like, I think this is maybe like 16th, 17th fret, and then back down. And you do that 5 times. So one time would be this. So you're basically gonna slide up and down while simultaneously your right hand is going to be plucking sporadically as fast as it can, as clean as it can, like this. You know what I'm saying? You wanna push yourself to go as fast as you can, but slide at the same time. So if I go up and down, that's one time. We're gonna do 5 of those per string. What we're gonna do is we're gonna go all the way up to the G string and all the way back down to the B, or all the way back down to your lowest string, depending on if you're playing a 4 or 5 string. And that'll be one set. We're gonna do 2 sets of these per day. And feel free to use this as a warm-up whenever you play. I do it every time I play. I always use this as a warm-up. And I always cut the volume down. So like, I definitely wouldn't try to cut your volume really high, and I honestly cut my volume all the way down and do it, because for other people, it could be very annoying. Take your time and just go through it and just do it every day, at least 2 sets. All right, so for my right hand, I have a couple of melodic exercises that I love to do and love to use. This one's a melodic exercise, but it's not necessarily one you would use like I think in songs all the time. So basically what we're gonna utilize is our major scale modes, going all the way up the neck. So if you don't know them, feel free to check out my video on like major scale modes in this description below. The link will be there. So just to give you a little overview, the first mode goes like this. And then I like to extend it to the G string to finish it off. And then just go back down. Okay? So what I'm gonna do now is what this technique and exercise does, instead of just playing up and down like that, the way that it works your right hand is that you play 4 plucks per note. So watch this. So I'm just go 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3. You just keep going. 4 plucks per note. And then back down. What I'm going to do now is I'm going to take it up each of these modes all the way up to the top. Now, this is how it works. This is how it's going to burn a lot. You get that metronome going, you put it at a challenging BPM for you. This is how you always know what level to set your BPM. You want it to challenge you, put you at the very edge of your comfort zone, but not to where you're so sloppy that it doesn't make any sense. So what you have to do when it comes to doing any kind of exercise is to take it a step further. Wherever you feel like you're comfortable, you go like 10 BPM past that. So just like when you're at the gym and you like go up and weight, it's like kind of tough at first, but the more and more you do it, the easier and easier it gets, and then you start to get a little bit comfortable in it. And then you move it up. So that's how you consistently push yourself to continue to grow in whatever it is that you are working on. All right, so here is the last lick for the right hand. This is one that you could throw into like whatever, like songs or grooves or whatever you want to. This is like one of my favorite and most fun right hand exercises. This is going to be in the key of A. We're going to be utilizing the pentatonic scale positions, all right? If you don't know your pentatonic scale position, I'm going to give you a quick overview. This is the pentatonic scale patterns that go there for the A major pentatonic that go all the way up the neck. If you want more detail, feel free to check out my pentatonic scale video that talks about this a little bit more in depth. So watch this. So we got... What this exercise, I'm going to be doing with this exercise is using the fifths of these notes. So if you don't know what fifths are, so if you know your number system, all it is just you, so if I'm in the key of A, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, there's your 5. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to do the fifth of each note in the pentatonic scale. So watch this. So if I'm playing the second note in the pentatonic scale, the fifth of B would be here. Okay, literally it's just up 2 frets, down 1 string. You get that fifth, okay? I will say, this is a little bit of a secret that not a lot of people would tell you about. This is like a cool way that a lot of people get these really cool, like... So the way this works as an exercise is we're gonna do doubles on each of those notes. So watch this. I'm gonna go up the pentatonic scale, but I'm gonna do double on the note and then on the fifth of the note. Okay, so it's gonna be 2, 3, 4, okay? Then I'm gonna do the same thing on the next note in the scale, pentatonic scale. See, just alternating. Okay, next. Next. All right, next. So now watch this. If I do it full speed. And then backwards, just start with the fifth. Just like that, okay? So this is very useful if you're playing like up or playing a groove. So it's really fun to play. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna use this on all of our pentatonic scale positions, all the way up the neck, just like we did with the major scale modes. So now here's what it sounds like with a loop. So the main takeaway I want you guys to have with this video is to push yourself. Like when it comes to developing speed or developing anything, you have to push yourself out of your comfort zone just so you can grow, okay? So with a lot of these exercises, if you don't push yourself, you're not gonna see the results that you wanna see. It's gonna start to burn a little bit. You're gonna start feeling it in both hands. Just with this and with everything, you always have to remember, whenever you start to get comfortable, that's when you're starting to not grow. So you have to remember to continue to push yourself out of that comfort zone and grow to the potential that you know that you can grow to. So if you have any questions about any of the things that I covered in today's lesson, feel free to hit me up on my Instagram @tdykes, or you could drop a comment below. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that bell so you're notified when the newest videos are uploaded. And also, if you want the loops, tracks, tabs, or even want some one-on-one video-to-video feedback lessons, feel free to check out my Patreon. It's linked below. Thank you guys so much for watching. I'll see you next time.